stop scrolling. This episode is dedicated to you, my friends. Yeah, we just hit 500 subscribers. I think we're about 600 now, but who's counting? I know. It doesn't sound huge until you realize that's way more people than your barangay Zumba class and your Sunday mass combined. When I started this channel, I thought 500 or even 100 subs is going to take me like, I don't know, a year or two. But let's be real. The only reason you're here is because I think YouTube's algorithm is drunk. So since we're celebrating this milestone, let's talk about everyone's favorite hate watch lately, or binge watch, or hate watch, whatever. Nepo babies. They're everywhere, man. Dude, showbiz, check. Politics, check. Corporate life, that's a lot of checks. Office, Game of Thrones, man, except instead of dragons, it's just last names. So if you're a Nepo baby watching this, man, you're in for a ride. You're not gonna last. But don't worry, the Wi-Fi bill is still probably under daddy's name. And to the ones who aren't, let's go roast some privilege. In case you've been living under a rock or you've been stuck in traffic, which is worse, for like a couple of years. Nepo babies basically means born with a cheat code. This is the classic anak ni ano yan kind of thing. Hollywood has them, sure. But in the Philippines, bro, it's everywhere. Everywhere. Especially in the workplace. For us normies, okay, we submit like 50 resumes, especially the millennials back in the day, submit 50 resumes, you pray fast to the HR gods, hoping that you land an interview. And meanwhile, you have this Nepo baby, shows up late in like tattered jeans, gets hired as a VP because daddy owns half the building, And we're out here grinding and slaving away, and they're out there inheriting stuff. And we spot it pretty quick too, especially Pinoys. We got a sixth sense for privilege. So you see a 25-year-old director, boom, Nepo baby. It's like an open secret everyone laughs about, but you're just secretly crying and dying inside. And to the brain dead meatheads like myself, this is like similar to the Bronny James scenario, He's not gonna get a spot on that Lakers roster if he's not the son of, you know what I mean? But okay, it's hilarious how we spot, things like that instantly, like, uy, anak ng boss yan, kaya promoted agad. But underneath the laughs and the jokes, it's a mirror to how family ties can turn opportunity into a freaking exclusive club. In politics, especially Philippine politics, it's like a never-ending TV series, or TV drama series. Imagine 82 provinces run by family dynasties where vacant government posts might as well come with a reserved for relative sign. Diba? And it's funny until you realize it's why roads stay potholed while the family fleet gets new SUVs. And in showbiz, classic na anak na ganito yan, so automatically bro, But hey, for us everyday Pinoys, normies, okay? I want that term. It's that office Nepo kid, who messes up but gets promoted anyways. And while you're out there OTing like a sidekick in a cringy rom-com. And then at 25, you're hustling for entry-level gigs, resume in hand, while Nepo babies just walked in because they're Tito's referral. And by 40, you're mentoring them, cleaning their mess, and thinking, bakit ba ako yung yaya? It's a comedy of errors, but it spotlights how connections can eclipse hard work, leaving the rest of us feeling like extras, but with the workload of a production crew. And oh boy, Pinoys on social media are turning Nepo babies into a national roast fest. It's almost a sport. I love it.
Oh no, you
But
don't.
why do we love it? I think it's because it's cathartic. It's us the underdogs calling the unfair play. Think about it. If you're at 25, you're doom scrolling, laughing at Nepo shade while applying for jobs that ghosts you. And at 40, you're sharing it in group chats thinking, been there, survived that, But here's the twist we all hate to admit. Nepo babies aren't just the villains here. They're merely a symptom of a disgustingly broken system where who you know trumps what you know. And it's funny how a term from celebrity gossips from the early 2020s became a tool to poke at inequality. Because in the Philippines, nepotism isn't elite. It's every day, from corner offices to Congress halls. Now, let's move to the real Olympics of nepotism, Philippine politics.
Ugh.
Okay, I'm no political analyst here, all right? I'm not going to pretend to be. But I think for all of us normies, it's not even shocking anymore. It's tradition. One family name just keeps getting recycled like plastic bags your mom stores at home. You know, from mayors to senators. It's a full family package, man. It's like having Ang Provinciano on Netflix, except, it's autoplay forever, no skip button, and you can't watch anything else. Take the Ko family scandal, for instance. They're screaming about other Nepo babies while drowning in their own 70 billion floodgate mess. Girl, don't call out the party if you're literally hosting it, okay? Or Arjo Atayde, actor turned politician turned airport influencer. Bro, fix the potholes before you fix your travel vlog aesthetic, all right? You got more world tours than a K-pop group while we're all out here begging for accountability on basic stuff like potholes that don't swallow our cars whole while driving around Quezon City. Listen, politics isn't and shouldn't be a retirement destination or a backup for actors who are either washed up or barely made it. You have no business calling the shots that impact us as common people if you can't even get yourself a regular spot in a noontime show your wife was at. And to those senators that got dragged into this whole mess, we have our funds disappearing faster than our 13th month pay at a 12/12 Shopee sale. And let's be real, Philippine politics isn't public service. It's a family business. The campaign slogan, I think it should be last names, not platforms. And the part that sucks the most is we still keep voting for them. It's like a toxic ex.
Ugh.
We hate them, but every 3 years we swipe right again. And don't get me started on the floodgate scandal. Oh wait,
Bruh.
that's too late, right? So billions for flood control gone poof. Ghost projects. Senators getting dragged in the mud. Just classic Senate drama. Annual Senate drama. It's like a bad sequel. So money, that's meant to keep us dry ends up lining their pockets while we're all out bailing our basements with buckets. And every roast I think these wretched officials get from Filipinos on social media left and right just feels so justified, And their Nepo babies, they have more BMWs than bills paid. I know. It's disgusting, It just shows how nepotism isn't just unfair. It's a corruption accelerator turning public service into a family business where accountability is optional. It's just like that extra rice from your suking karinderya, And millennials like us grew up watching these dynasties win elections like a rigged raffle. Vote for the son, vote for grandson, or great-grandtita, whoever. We've seen it all, man. Provinces run by the same surname since Spanish times. Scandals popping like fireworks at a fiesta, and us, we're just left holding the bill. Just like that PhilHealth thing. Okay, that's a different story. But what I find at least a glimmer of hope in is the current generation of Pinoys are just done with this whole thing of being extras. We're calling it out on social media, demanding lifestyle checks on those designer hauls and luxury rides and IG posts and go, show us the receipts, not the relatives. Ikaw, what's your wildest Nepo baby story? Drop it in the comments and let's keep this chismis going, man. Let's talk about the workplace, because nepotism doesn't stop at city halls. It sits right next to you in the office. Isipin mo to, you have 3 years of overtime under your belt, surviving on pancit canton and instant coffee. Meanwhile, boss's kid, 3 days of training, already has a corner office and an assistant.
Oh no, you.
Corporate Philippines is just like a teleserye. You're the hardworking side character, but the Nepo baby, always the bida, even if they can't even string together or format a Word doc. Nepo babies take more vacation leaves than actual work days. At 25, you're asking, diba, am I not enough? At 35, you're proofreading their email. At 50, you're reporting to their kid. Congratulations. You've served 3 generations of mediocrity. You're grinding like a loyal liaya, while the boss's anak just waltz in, snags the manager spot, and you're left wondering, saan ang hustisya? For us millennials, it's a gut punch, even to everyone. You've got years of grind, a degree from UP, PUP, or wherever, and a resume thicker than a stack of pancit canton at your pantry. But the Nepo kid, and this guy gets promoted, because he's related to boss or anak ni boss, is their only KPI. At 25, you're likely battling imposter syndrome. Maybe I'm not good enough. By 40, you're mentoring these Nepo babies, fixing their typos, and wondering why you're still the sidekick in this corporate drama. And for the 50-something titos and titas watching, I'm sure as hell you've seen the cycle spin over and over again. Same surnames, new faces, same unfair game. It's comedy until you realize it's your own career on the line. But here's where it gets a bit juicy. Pinoys aren't just taking it lying down now. We're turning chismis into change. Social media's been blowing up with Nepo baby check. That's a rabbit hole, but you guys search it if you like. But a lot of people expose workplace Nepo antics with typical or classic Pinoy savagery. It's why it took too long making this video. There's just so much material going on left and right, and my brain can't keep up with it. And just a couple of mornings ago, the Manila Times called it undeserved power, and I think they're not wrong. And yes, I still read newspapers. Go take a hike. Bruh. Nepotism in the office isn't just annoying. It's a fairness thief. It's thief of joy, if you will. It makes us feel like we're forever the supporting cast in our own success story. You're out there slaving away, keeping that company running while they're clocking Instagram likes on their hustle, or their hustle codes, or like their motivational codes. So why does this hit so hard? Because for us in the Philippines, work is, most of the time, it's personal. We pour our heart into our jobs, not just for the pay, but for pride. Para sa pamilya, para sa sarili, And when a Nepo baby skips the line, it's not just a promotion lost. It's a piece of our dignity, if you know what I mean. But the hope I see here is millennials, Gen Zers, who make up, they're steadily rewriting the script. And dang, have you seen the Gen Zers of Nepal? Google that or YouTube that. It's a rabbit hole. But okay, every social media roast, every Reddit thread, every whispered chismis in the pantry is us saying enough. We're demanding fairness, not with pitchforks, of course, but with memes and facts. So let's keep that going. Something will eventually give. We just have to make sure it won't be us. That's all it is. Okay, so what's your favorite, or not really favorite? That's a wrong question, but what's your office Nepo story? Drop it in the comments and we'll call it out together. I don't know, let's stir some things up. The happy part is we are leading the charge. We're calling out Nepo babies on X and TikTok, demanding sell-ins and transparency. Even Cardinal David literally said, make corruption shameful again. You messed up when even the church is subtweeting you. So yeah, Nepo babies aren't the real villains, if you ask me. They're just the spoiled symptoms, the nuisance. So, but the real villain here is the system where your last name matters more than your skills. But guess what? We're not extras anymore. We're sick of all of that. We're the ones flipping the script through memes, receipts, accountability, lifestyle checks, and all these things. And most of all, savage comment sections. And hey, since this is our 500 plus subscribers special, it's all possible because of you guys. Thank you so much, my friends. And I'd like to do a special shout out to some of our recent subscribers. We got Ray Celis, Leslie Karen Magat, Holmes Canovas, Marcella 527, and Rizalyn Bautista. Welcome to the Minecraft family. I know I missed everybody else, but if you want a shout out, just let me know and we can always do that in the next, man. And dude, just drop your Nepo chismis or hot take in the comments below. And at this stage, I have all the time to reply to everyone as much as I can. So subscribe, hit the bell on, join our Discord for more kwentuhan if you have the time. And salamat for watching.